Yes, guys, and welcome back to an episode of Talk Randy with me, Abs. I tapped the mic then, guys. Sorry about that. It's me, Abs. And we've got a special episode, guys. We are with the director of sales. Not just a director of sales. She's a super mom. She's a multi-award-winning, nominated plenty of times. It is Jessica Southworth. How are you, Jess?
I'm all right. You really just built me up there. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Finally getting the hot seat.
In the hot seat. And we're with a special guest as well. I forgot to mention Carlos. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Carlos is a bit quiet, but he's excited. He's a footballer, guys, future baller. And what else do you do? Kickboxing?
Yeah.
See, kickboxing. So, guys, watch out, Olympic star here. So, Jess, tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh, where shall I start?
Way back when. So, Jess was 17, she had a baby. So, we'll start with baby.
Right.
Not this baby.
Not this one. This one. The other one. She's bigger than me.
Yeah.
She's working. So there we go.
See?
That's how long ago it was. So originally I had my eldest, Saffron. So as you mentioned, 17 when I had Saf.
I met Saffron. She's literally a spitting image of you. And she's like business orientated, which is good.
100% future UA92
yes,
student.
future UA92 student. And this one here as well.
Wow, we've got them all lined
Yes.
up. But yeah, no, as you mentioned, I had when I was obviously quite young, so I was 16 when I was pregnant with Saf. I just literally started college, so not long out of college. I did IT, bizarrely.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't look like IT.
I know,
you look,
this is it.
You look like IT people are boring. You look more like more creative.
Yeah, so at the time, my logic was it was the only A that I got in my GCSEs, so I'm just going to roll with it. So enrolled myself on a particular IT course. It was very technical, and soon I realised that binary wasn't for me.
Oh, yes.
But at the same time, I also found out I was expecting. So at the time, it was like the lesser of the two evils, like which one do you tell your mum? Do you tell your mum this or do you do this and you just suck it up? So I had to obviously tell her about Saffron.
Which obviously is a blessing.
Oh yeah, 100%. At the time it was very difficult, like looking back I did put my mum through quite a lot. But, as it happens now, everything is fine. But at the time, of course, I couldn't hit her with that and dropping out of college. So I just had to deal with that.
What was it like, the feeling like, obviously, being pregnant at such a young age and being a teen mom, it's often overlooked and it's often looked down upon and people have that stigma behind you. Were you worried about people's opinions or were you like, I'm not really bothered, I care what my mum thinks?
So 32-year-old Jess now would be like, it is what it is, you deal with it, you're fine. Back then I was like terrified. I think I hid it for a good 6 months, didn't really tell any of my close friends. When I did, everyone had their own opinions. Probably lost a lot of friends through it, really. So I think then you realise who your friends are.
Yeah, that goes to show, like, and when you're at your lowest point, not saying your lowest point, when you need someone and your friend's not there, you get to realise, like, oh, right, now I know who's there for me.
That's it. And it's like you're 17 and you realise that. So it was a bit of a shock, I think.
Because you're still a very, very, very young person, still finding your feet, finding yourself, still going through adulthood. And at 17, at such a young age, get pregnant at 16 and having a baby at 17, it's changed your life.
Yeah, 100%. I think at the time I remember being really frustrated because there was the whole production of Teen Mum that came out in America. So the way that teen mums were stigmatised, it was that they were kind of a bit lazy, there was a bit of drama, there was this.
You want a house.
That's it, and it's like genuinely, like that wasn't, I was faced with a situation and I had to deal with it. So I remember being really angry. I'd left my first year of college in the April to have Saffron in the June. I came back in September, so she was in nursery at 6 weeks old.
Wow.
So, that's a bit mean. She was doing a 7-6 shift from being 6 weeks, but I remember going back into college and doing IT. My pass didn't work to get into college.
Oh no.
My logins didn't work anymore.
Do they think you've left?
Yeah. And that was it. When I came to try and find out why I couldn't get where I needed to get, the course leader, who was a woman, which shocked me at the time, had just said, well, we didn't expect to see you again. We thought that'd be you.
See, that's terrible. And that, obviously, as a young mom, you're still going through a lot of things, still changing, still adapting to a new life. How did that make you feel? It's disappointing, really. The education system has let you down.
Yeah, I felt angry and almost like, well, I shouldn't have even bothered then. Should I just go off and do what everyone's expecting me to do and go and get a flat, live it easy, or what seems to be easy. But then I remember at the time thinking I'm a little bit stubborn. Now I call it resilience.
See, I love that, and resilience. It's being resilient, like you said. And like you said, against all the odds, you're not letting anybody put you down. You're being resilient. You're not stubborn. You're saying to people, you know what? No, I'm coming back to have my education.
Well,
I had a
that's
baby.
it.
That doesn't change anything about me.
Exactly. I was like, it's nothing to do with you. I will still show up every day. So that's what I did. Finished there after the 3 years with 3 distinctions.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
So there was no way I was just passing that. I was proving people wrong.
Ace, that's ace, A.
In IT, binary.
Yeah.
Don't ask me about binary
binary, I
now.
don't know
Couldn't
nothing about
tell
binary.
you. Couldn't tell you. But then I thought, right, well, I've done that, so I'll do uni then. And I was never planning on going to university. But I'd found...
What made you have that spark to, I actually want to go uni?
I think I was stubborn. I was angry.
Resilience.
I was like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying I'll never do it because I've got a 2-year-old by now. And I thought, I'll just do it differently.
And
So-
how was a 2-year-old being then? Terrible twos, which is cheeky and tantruming.
Bit sassy. You've met Saf.
I met Saf.
She's been sassy since she was born.
Wow.
You know,
Was
but
she
in a
resilient
good,
like
but in a
you?
very
Yeah.
good way. Look, he's nodding.
Yeah,
we
he's
know.
nodding.
We
He's
know.
like, and going through that stage, being she's 2 years old and you go into university. Did the university, was it always plain sailing or did you have struggles in between?
So I did it a little bit differently. So I was lucky enough to find a course way back with Bolton University that would allow me to do university part-time and then work full-time. So that's how I ended up in hospitality because Hilton took a gamble.
Yeah.
So Hilton were prepared to pay me and then help fund my university course, which that would never have happened if I hadn't have, I would never have put myself in that situation if I'd have not had Saffron. So things happen for a reason.
Things happen for a reason. And like you said, you having Saffron has been the most blessing for you. You proved a lot of people wrong. You touched upon, you went into hospitality. Did you always want to go into hospitality?
Nope.
So do you want to talk about that journey?
So I thought, honestly, I'm going to do this course.
What was the course?
So it was just in management. It was just a very, very generic, because again, I didn't really know what to do. I just knew weren't doing IT. There was no way I was doing
IT.
that.
See, IT's out the window.
That's it, it's gone. I signed
Are you
up.
good at Excel now?
I'm all right now,
see, I hate
but
Excel.
you know, I mean, I'll show you it. But I even signed up to the army.
Oh wow! You remember me telling that in the group.
That's-
So what was that like?
that's-
That was Saffron as well.
That was with Saffron. I don't know what I was thinking, and then I remember, no matter how much you're a mum yourself, I needed my mum to get me out of that.
Because you're still young and you're still going through that stage of.
I was like, I'll do this.
You're
I'll
changing.
just do everything.
And
Literally.
Was your mum supportive with you?
She was. I think it took her a long time to kind of come round, but then when when she realised I was on a bit of a mission, she's been my rock.
See, the thing I know about you, Jess, is like resilience. And like you said, you jumped over that hurdle. Today, you've been for hospitality for nearly 10 years.
Oh, 12.
12
plus now,
years.
yeah.
See, 12 years, way before you were born.
Oh, aye.
12 years. And from those 12 years, you've actually faced loads of setbacks in life. Like you said, people have proven you wrong. You worked at the best hotels in the world. And now you're director of sales. So do you want to talk about that journey up to then? Because you went to Hilton, you went to hotel football before it was even built.
Well, I'd left. So I'd started at Hilton, did my university alongside. So that was at the airport. So again, like you say, I got to see a lot of fab places.
Busy.
So holiday expectations from 2 kids now is ridiculous because you got to see the world.
Where's your favourite holiday destination?
Spain.
Oh, Spain.
Spain.
Nice.
All right, okay, that's fine.
Your mum was like to see
Enjoy that. Do you know why? I think that's where it feels. You're relaxed, aren't you? When you're there, you're relaxed. We get to just relax and chill out, don't we?
I know he said they like going to a massive
that.
place where you're running around.
I wasn't expecting him to say that
I
though.
thought he
So
said
that's
somewhere. I thought he
interesting.
said America, Florida.
Yeah, see, we've never been. So
Oh.
of all the we've never gone that side. We've always gone the other side. So yeah, so that's still on the bucket list, that isn't it?
That's a hint.
Sure is.
It sure is. I tell you.
Sure is.
So yeah, so I worked at the airport. So working at an airport was interesting.
You met loads of
very
different characters.
Yeah, 100%, totally different. Way back when, I remember Ronaldo signed his United contract in one of our meeting rooms. So there we go. So that was interesting. So you never knew who you were going to come
you get
across
to
at
see
the
him?
airport. Yeah.
Did you wave at him?
I mean, I probably
Start
got
out.
really embarrassed.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
Didn't you see him in a restaurant once?
I did see him in a
Yeah.
restaurant. I also saw Carlos Tevez in a restaurant.
Oh, right.
once.
What did you say hi
Hence
to
the
him?
name, guys.
Yes, he's calling a little Carlos. Did you say hi to him?
I did, and then I also followed him to his car, and I think he was a bit scared.
Oh,
But I
no.
just wanted a picture.
Did you get a picture in the end?
I did.
Oh, good.
So I worked at the airport. Then I decided to take a bit of a change because by this point now I was expecting this one.
Carlos,
So then when I went on maternity,
9 years old?
there,
Yeah.
9? Oh, 9, right.
that's it, nearly double digits, aren't you?
Yep.
So
Are you the favourite?
Yes.
Oh!
oh, if Saffron sees this, you
Yeah.
had it. So I went off on maternity with Carlos, and then I was like, is this really what I want to do? Because like you say, I never expected to be in hospitality at all.
Because was Saffron 6 then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I never expected to be there. So I thought, right, this is the point now where I need to sit, reflect. I took a year because I never did it with Saffron, so I took a year out.
It's nice to take a year out and relax and just
That's
find
it.
find your feet.
That's it. I just wanted to kind of
Be normal
reflect
again.
on. Yeah, I wanted to like reflect on where I'd got to and
Not
what,
normal,
what
as
was
in
the
like,
next
yeah,
plan.
like look back at your whole, like from Saffron to Carlos and look how much you achieved and you thought, you know what, I've achieved a lot.
Yeah.
I need to look after myself now and look after my well-being.
That was exactly it. So I thought, right, I want to be in education. That's what I thought. I thought that's what I think my strengths are. I think I'll be good at that. So I actually went and did. So maternity, Carlos was like a month or two old, and I went off for a week and did a course to be an MVQ assessor. So
I remember you telling me, what was that like? Yeah, because I said, I think you'll be the more, I think because if you were MVQ assessor, you'll be more chilled in labour because you know what you were like in school.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, right, I'm going to do that. Then I did my PTALs to do lifelong learning. So I did my teaching qualification. And then I was a bit like, right, okay, so I've ticked that box. That's all right.
Still juggling 2 children.
Yeah, so with the 2, so I thought, right, I've done that. Then I started to think about the journey that I'd had with Saffron. So I actually wrote a book. So I wrote a bit of a diary of
Nice.
like reflecting.
Have you showed Saffron that when you were...
I have. So it's now in a bit of a blog.
Oh, nice.
So during lockdown, I evolved that further and
Is
did
it online?
a website. Yeah.
Guys, what's it called?
So it's Behind the Hotelier.
Behind the Hotelier. I'll make
So
sure the
this-
link's in the description.
Thank you, Abs.
It's all right.
Oh, you're good, aren't you? But that's what I did. So on maternity, I thought about what my next steps would be. Also did a bit of reflection. But then I just couldn't help myself. And I found myself in another hotel.
Hospitality was calling you. What's that,
it.
hotel football?
So this was actually, it was the Thistle on Portland Street. So that is actually where I met Stuart Davis.
Who is the
our-
COO?
He is, yes. So that's actually
Big up
where
to Big
I met.
Stu.
Yeah, so he was a general manager at another hotel nearby. So that's how I was introduced by my general manager. So we'd kind of kept in touch. Then Hilton came calling again, offered me an opportunity in Liverpool. So this would have been, so this was now as like a more of a commercial role. So it was looking after groups, conference, events.
Was that you travelling still with the troop?
Yeah.
Did you accept it?
I did.
Wow,
So I went
amazing.
and did it. So I thought, a new city. I thought, I've done the airport.
Did you live in Liverpool or just from commuting?
So no, so we stayed in Manchester. We did debate it. This is quite funny. We did debate it, but then I thought Carlos might have grown up with a bit of a strange Manx Scouse accent.
Yeah, no offense to Scouse accents. We're hearing
I
it from
just
Jamie
thought
Carragher.
I'm gonna muddy some waters
Yeah.
here, aren't I? So we stayed in Manchester.
Jamie Carragher's enough, innit?
Oh God, you and
Scouse.
Jamie and your sandwich.
Yeah, it sounds, hi, all right. I can't do it. Can you do a Scouse accent?
Kinda.
Go on, do one. Do Jamie Carragher.
Cheekham.
Yes, yeah. See, yeah. Nothing wrong with the Scouse accent, but...
That's what I mean. I've already got it in me.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
see, he's already got it
That's
in
it
him.
planted. So I did. So I just used to commute. So that was So that kind of got me to a bit of another level, if you like, in what I was doing.
That shows like commitment, actually. You're commuting from a new city every single day, day in, day out, late nights, presumably, and still 2 children who are under 5, under 10.
Yeah.
So juggling that and being a super mum, but you're having that support around you. What was that support around you like, as well as commuting to Liverpool? And what made you move back to Manchester? As in, not me get a job in here.
So I decided. So whilst I was at Liverpool, I did have a lot of good networks. Obviously, you know, my husband being one of them, my mum being another
Your
one.
dad, you see,
my
your dad's
sister,
one of them.
yeah, like my sister. I think they were all very capable of wanting to help. Again, they were in nursery full time as well, so that helps. But I knew that I had a certain amount of hours in the day that I had to get stuff done. So effectively, I started to really learn about myself, and I'm thinking, if I need to get to nursery for 6, I know I've got to do for 6 in the evening. Yeah. I know that I've got to make sure everything I've done is done by 4, and I've got 2-hour window to get there. Don't get me wrong, one day I was ridiculously late, and he was doing food safety hygiene.
Oh, wow.
With the nursery teachers. He was 2, so he wasn't very happy about that. But
I bet you were fuming, yeah. Oh, your face is
Look at that
all.
face. So there were occasions, obviously, where it backfires, but essentially, I was like, I just had to be really organised. So that was Liverpool, but then, during the course of that time, I'd got to nearly 4 years there, and a certain
Wow,
hotel.
4 years of commuting. Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I had to mix it up and do train or car just to.
I bet
make
your
it
miles
fun.
are up the roof.
Yeah, they were. It's a lot.
What car did you have back then?
So I had my Polo.
Oh, nice.
Well, it was all right. My first one for
you
about
break
a
down?
year. Well, it was on fire. It was like smoking on the motorway, and I was like, "Who's that with all the smoke?" And it was me.
Oh, my days. And what
So,
did you park
I just
up?
carried on driving.
To Liverpool?
And I left it at the
Oh.
hotel, and I was like, "Guys, I think my car's broke." And they were like, "Hey." And I tell you something, Volkswagen had the quickest sale ever, because I just rang and was like, "I need a car right now," because I thought I can't do the
And
train
she bought one new
fare.
one straight away.
So literally, straight away, just put a deposit down. They were like, "You've not even seen it." I was like, "I need it."
Well, that's
So-
good. See. And you're showing commitment. And just touching upon, like, the role and everything, I want people to know, like, you were working class, and you didn't let that define you. And a lot of people have, like, to be in such a high establishment, you got to have loads of accolades and everything. But you've worked for it. Like you said, on your Twitter, you were very, very passionate about being working class. And you show your kids that you got to work for things, and you prove critics wrong. And that's where it led you to hotel football.
Yeah.
What made you move there? Because I remember you had a story before, and then in the main auditorium last time, what made you go to hotel football? Because you said it wasn't even finished.
No. So I started to see it being built, and I
Yeah.
remember my general manager in Liverpool, who I learned a lot off. I'll probably learn the most.
Do you still speak to him?
Yeah. Every now and again, I'll get a phone call,
Is
and
he
I'm
at
like,
Hilton
"Oh my
still?
God, what have I done?" Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I still panic though when I see that number, and I'm like,
Oh.
"What have I done?" Like, just in case. But he was brilliant, and I learnt loads. So he actually said, in his brilliant Scottish accent,
Scottish.
he's like, "Have you seen this?" And it was in the Echo, and it was an image of a hotel being built by the class of '92, what it entailed,
Genev.
etc., exactly.
Goals.
And I was like, "Oh," and I saw it, and I thought, I like this, and I like what it looks like. I like what they're talking about, all about kind of the experience, everything they'd learned throughout the footballing careers, and what they would do. And I thought, I feel like I want to be part of it. You just know.
Yeah.
So at that time, it was in the process of being built. I actually had been in touch with Stuart, because Stuart was
Davies.
actually going there as being the opening general manager. So again,
So
you
would
never
you-
know who you're talking to.
True. Always keep your connection. And Stuart as a general manager, not as a COO.
Yes. So originally he was the
Yeah.
opening general manager. So again, like I say, 4 years prior, I didn't know that that's who I'd met in the hotel that I'd been
Yeah.
in. But who,
You never know who you might come across.
Exactly. So
Networking is key, guys. You see
100%
this?
network is your
Carlos,
network. You
networking
say
is key.
it.
So if you meet someone, always remember them. Everyone will remember you.
So I'd had a few conversations, but at the time it wasn't quite right. So the move wasn't quite right pre-opening. So I remember thinking, I need to just kind of hang fire, and I need to just assess that this is 100%. To go from, a worldwide chain
Yeah.
to an independent hotel, I was like, I need to make sure I'm making the right move. So
Because it is big daunting, like
it is.
something brand new, no one's ever heard of it before, and you're taking a gamble and a risk on yourself.
And although it sounds silly, although I'm from Manchester, the kind of the turning point in my career was in Liverpool. So I didn't know anyone in Manchester.
Yeah.
So that was another reason why I was a bit like, okay, I need to make sure I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I did hold back a little bit. However, when the hotel opened,
You never know, is it stalk it?
yeah. So every away game, we would go for food. And I just wanted to get a feel for it. And eventually I was like, I know that this is the right thing to do. I had in the meantime taken another opportunity with another independent property back in Manchester. So I'd started to establish myself a little bit in the market. But ultimately, when an opportunity came again, I was
You
like,
took it.
I'm in. I think he had his 4th birthday party there
Wow.
in the December, and I started in the January 2 weeks later.
So it goes to show, like, don't It's like you're stalking if it's for you and you took a gamble on yourself again.
Yeah, I was like, it's a big decision, not only for me, but for family. Like
Financially, is it right? Is it this? And like you said, sometimes about resilience, and back then you didn't know, but it is resilience. You took the resilience, and being at hotel football, you grew and grew and grew. And how long did it take you to be where you are today?
So I've been there now. So what are we? October. So I've been there now just under 6 years.
Wow. So you were only 4?
Yeah, that's it. So bizarrely, I started in the January, and in the June, Saffron actually had a 10th birthday party there. In December, he will do the same. So it's like how many years apart? So, but again, I think I had to make sure it was the right reason. I mean, it is. I'm still there 6 years. To be somewhere nearly 6 years in my role,
it's remarkable, because I know it's fast paced and
is.
high turnover.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's in it for the people. And now you're director of sales.
Yeah.
And from that, you have achieved so much by even bringing on Dave. What was that like? Are you a fan of Dave?
He has to
Saffron is, isn't it?
Saffron likes Dave. You have to put with him.
What was it like for you to achieve? Because you achieved so many great things, like literally amazing things. What was that like for you? What was the vision behind you bringing like amazing, like the guests like Dave on?
So I'll say one thing that taking your opportunities when you get them. So, way back kind of 2-3 years ago, I actually messaged him privately on Instagram, and I was like, I know you're a United fan. If we can ever do anything, let me know. And he replied. He didn't have quite as many followers back then. But he did reply, and he was like, I appreciate it. Yeah. So that's it. But then second, you're networking through the contacts with Manchester United and the relationship that I've built with them. When he'd approached about doing something with them, he'd also then mentioned potentially about the hotel over the road. He wasn't quite sure what the message was. He couldn't remember, but he knew something had been said. And they were like, we know exactly who that is.
Jess Southworth?
It'll be Jess. So then we was put back in contact. I was put back in contact with them. Well, I was just like, this is ridiculous. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm at my auntie's, and I've got Dave's manager on the phone. I mean, it was very busy. Anyone who was in and around the hotel will know how many people turned out, and I've never seen anything like it.
Did you turn up to it?
You did you?
No.
No. And that was amazing. And how did you feel as accomplishment? That's a massive accomplishment for you, because I'm not gonna lie, your mum was famous. She was front page of the evening news. How was that for you? Such a surreal moment. Did you see it? She was the front page. I couldn't believe it.
He's probably glazed over when I've showed him, to be honest.
Front page. Weren't you front page?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the evening news, did you see it?
I saw it on the app. I did see it on the app. I was chuffed. I was like, I remember all the thing is though, I remember on the evening how it was very stressful for our team. But the awareness, so like obviously I was really grateful to the team because they had to deal with a lot, but the awareness and the amount of memes that I saw afterwards with Dave in front of hotel football and all the various captions, and I saw it being shared, him doing a little private set. He pulled out his keyboard.
Yeah, I saw that.
He did
were you there as well?
Yeah.
See, that's such a good environment, and like you said, sorry to interrupt you, he's bringing a new audience to hotel football, and you're helping him because he done a tweet, and like you said, a couple of years ago, no one knew who he was.
That's it.
And he only started now, literally hotel football was flooded.
Yeah, I think as well to be part of. So on that night, he actually found out he'd broken like the streaming records on Spotify for the album.
Yeah.
So to kind of, I know it doesn't matter if he remembers Jess or whatever, but he'll remember when he found out, and he was in heaven at hotel football. So for me, that's my job done. That's what it's all about, isn't it? He'll remember that memory.
Such a surreal moment, like you said, all about being nice to people and being memorable. Yeah. And like we've got a little man here as well. We're not forgetting you. You're a footballer as well. So you play for Fletcher Mosque.
Yeah.
How's that been for you?
Great.
And what do you enjoy most about being working, going to hotel football?
Great.
What do you enjoy most of sweets?
Yes.
What's your favourite sweets?
Marshmallows and bubblegum.
Oh, bubblegum. And have you got your hotel football robe still?
Yes.
You see, and then you're proud of your mum, obviously.
Yeah, you like hotel football. Second home.
And who's the favourite child, you or Saffron?
Me.
You've got to say bit of both.
Bit of both.
That's mean.
Carlos
will say him.
Just moving on to that, and I see that you said you had a family, and we've been through a turbulent year, COVID, and we've had austerity, we had a lot of cutbacks, and most recently, you done a tweet which said, do you want to read the tweet? Have you still got it? So you done a tweet about saying basically there's a tweet happening where Universal Credit has cut £20 a week, And Jess said that £20 a week is going to affect her father.
Yeah. So I'd not spoken about me, had I?
No.
I'd said that I'd said something along the lines
So
of
this is affecting a lot of people, including my father.
yeah.
You didn't mention you.
I said yeah, people like my dad. So like me and my sister, we spend a lot of time looking after him for various reasons, and we have done for a number of years. And I was just trying to get across that something like that affects not only him,
You and the family.
but obviously us, because me and my sister now need to make sure that we shuffle what we're doing so we can accommodate what he's missing. But then also with him, for a dad to have to be worried about or embarrassed
To ask
to
his
have to
daughters.
kind of just ask his daughters for that little bit extra. You know, obviously your family, you do it, but I was like, people don't realise like the ripple effect. So when people started saying things like, well, you know, you shouldn't have your car or your mobile phone or your this, and it's like, that is
Because
not
Gary
even
Neville done
relevant.
a video as well about it, saying.
He did,
and
yeah.
He called Edwina spaghetti bolognese. And he called Boris.
He called Boris spaghetti
Yeah.
bolognese. I did do that for Will Pasadena the other day, and I was
Oh,
like,
gosh,
this
see?
is not bolognese.
But no, bolognese. And like you
Bosh.
said, from that tweet, you had a lot of people who were negative towards it,
Yeah.
including someone who worked for the
well,
government.
FBI abs.
Yeah, so I said,
Straight on it.
I thought, you know what? If you tweet something, you mean it. So I looked up, I went on Google, I typed this person's name in, and behold, he popped up that he works at the House of Commons. I was like, in that rich, so I screenshot it and I said, well, funny enough, because it's easier to you, funny that you work for the man who said it. So I tweeted him back saying, funny, you work for the government.
Yeah.
And then he deleted it.
I found it. I think that was a point when I thought, I've just realised just how much people don't read.
Yeah.
They see what they want to see, because people were then like quote tweeting what I was saying and Googling salaries for sales
Yeah.
directors and telling me what I earn. And I'm like, one, I don't earn that. Two, I'm not even complaining about what I earn. I'm not complaining about me. You're missing the whole point. If you're someone that's got £20, then and you've got nothing else, that £20 is a lot
So
to you.
£20 a week is like what, £80?
Yeah.
£80
It
a
adds
week.
up.
And like you said, I realised when people were tweeting you. And I thought, this is not right. So I Googled him, like I said.
You did.
And the person works for the House of Commons. So I said, funny enough, you work for the government.
Yeah.
Tom Asbro, is it Asbro?
Ansbro.
Ansbro,
yes.
sorry, Tom. Tom backed you up as well. And like you said, no one understands what's going on.
Yeah.
And you're very proud of your roots, you're a working class girl.
Yeah.
And like you said, for example, your boss, Gary, goes above and beyond for the he goes above
100%.
and beyond, and he tackles the government.
Yes.
And he mentioned like the £20 a week is cutting a lot of people, it's affecting a lot of people. And he mentioned like the package that he's giving, like £5,000 worth of packages. He didn't have to do that.
No.
He's doing it because he knows people are struggling. He knows people are need help. Like for example, when lockdown happened,
Yeah.
he helped the NHS heroes.
Exactly.
Then he got slated for that as well. Like you can never make people happy, and the people that are slating him are the people in power, really. I think.
Yeah, I think people can get quite ugly, and sometimes I think for some reason people are trained to only sort of see the negative in things. So instead of thinking, actually that's a really great initiative, it's going to support a lot of people, the package, you know, make it for real for UA92, that is going to open doors to people that probably think
People who don't have to worry about a laptop,
Yeah.
data,
all the
free lunch.
blockages. So
Yeah.
it's like that's a positive change in a community, which is what is set out to do. So why would anyone try to find the negative in it?
Yeah.
You just can't please people.
True. And moving on a positive, Jess has
Yes.
been nominated for numerous awards this year. When I say numerous, guys, I can't even count on my hands. You've been nominated for the Northern Power Women's Award.
Yes, so I've got 2 for that.
2 nominees. You've been nominated for the Manchester Young Talent Awards
Yes.
for sales.
Yep.
And you've been nominated for, I can't even, honestly, I'm lost count. To you to be recognised for your work, how does that make you feel? Because I know you don't like, I know you do it out of goodness like your own heart, but you're being praised for doing something so good.
I think that especially after like a really hard 2 years nearly now,
Yeah.
it made me a little bit emotional. I think it did send me over the edge a little bit when I saw them all. I do feel a bit nervous, but I feel very honoured to even have been nominated, shortlisted, like you name it, like for my name to be there. I feel like it's almost kind of, I don't know, I feel like all of the past 12 years, it's kind of come to a certain point now, and this is potentially the start of another chapter. So during lockdown that I'd mentioned before, that when I was on maternity with Carlos, I started a diary. So during lockdown, I started to reflect on that.
On
a
that
bit
website,
more.
going to say it again to everyone.
So behind the hotel here.
Behind the hotel, it'll be on the link.
So I started to piece together things that I do outside of work. Now, I'm very grateful to Hotel Football, to Stuart, to Chris, my general manager, because it's different in as much as you're not there to be, you know, attached to your desk or this or this.
You're always out and about.
The fact that they can see other opportunities, all I'm doing is talking about the hotel. Some people who are kind of in a old mindset would think, well, what's she doing? Because it's not a direct sale, it's not a this, it's nothing to do with Hotel Football. But the fact that I get to be an ambassador for Girls Out Loud and help a next generation of people.
What is Girls Out Loud for those who don't know?
So that is, so it's a social enterprise that's aimed at girls around the ages of kind of 13 to 16, prime saffron age here.
Saffron?
So there's a method to what I'm doing because it's helping me learn.
Because you've seen how you were at that age and you want to help other young women out and say, you know what, I can do it, you can do it.
That's it. And I remember the support that I had when I was that age. And aside from my family, you know, like we said before, educational setting, it was non-existent. So Girls Out Loud is there to not necessarily support the sort of underperforming, not necessarily overperforming, but those that are kind of in that middle of the road. So the ones that have got the potential, but they see the attention on one side or the other side, and they kind of left to sort of simmer.
Yeah.
So Girls Out Loud is there to help support young women.
Been to Girls Out Loud before with you?
So she's not, no. So I did join as an ambassador during lockdown.
I think Saffron would be a really great spokesperson and like personal speaker to other young women out there, other young girls. You know what, my mum was a teenage mum, and what?
Yeah, that's it.
You know, and what, I was a teen mum, and what, I've achieved all this, and you can't say that I've been given this, like, I haven't worked for it. Like, not many people get spoon-fed, but you haven't. You've worked for this, and like you produce, like you got two great children, like your favourite child here today, Carlos, after Carlos Tevez, and of course Saffron. And Carlos, seeing your mum achieve all these things, how proud does it make you?
Proud,
Are you very proud of your mum?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks. You're not having a McDonald's. I'm joking. I'm joking.
And see your mum, apart from like just being a director of sales, like I said, you're a mum. You're juggling two things. Like you got to go football with the little man here.
Yeah.
And
so footy in a bit.
So you're still doing everything that you can. Like Hotel Football has given you that platform, and have been. One thing I've realised about Hotel Football, and this is true. Like everyone's like a big family. You recognise every single guest. You got Tony in the door, who is a joker, and you got the other guy in the door. I don't know what's he called, the YouTube.
Webby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they're making sure the door trouble. Like right, come in, right upstairs. Say I sit in you, right? Go upstairs. And it's like such a fun environment. And then what's the other guy called that texted you last time? And I said, Jess Southworth is the best.
Was it Aaron?
Yes.
Yes.
And he goes, no, she's not. I go, yes, she is. And I had a laugh. And I said, like, it's a great big family. So what is next for Jess Southworth? Because obviously you're an award-winning.
Oh. What is next?
I still see you still being at Hotel Football.
Yeah, I think I still think there's so much more I can do. I do think I still think there's a lot that I can achieve or that I would like to achieve there. So Hotel Football 100%.
Guest lecturing?
Well, this is it. So I've done it a couple of times, as you know, at UA92. So I'm really glad that it's here and we are partners. So that keeps me on my toes a little bit. But other than that, I don't know. I think developing. I want to do good.
Yeah.
So kind of developing the role with Girls Out Loud. With a couple of guys throughout lockdown, we'd set up a network called Be a Good Sport.
And what's that about?
So that's
all these positive things.
So there's a guy, Maxwell Fenton, he's at Royal Ascot. There's Mark Lee.
Not the Ross racing.
Yeah.
Oh my, I haven't been to Ross racing. Oh my days. Have you been to Ross?
I've done horse racing.
How good was it?
I enjoy.
Oh,
I do like it. You got Mark Lee, who's at Principality, which is rugby, and then Tara Fenner, she's at Twickenham, which is again rugby. So the four of us had put together Be a Good Sport network. So it started with a LinkedIn article via Maxwell, where his aim was to just connect people across sports and events. Because obviously, everything was
LinkedIn
taken
is
away.
great, like networking.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's it. So when you couldn't network, you could, because we did it online.
I met you through Twitter and then met in person a couple of months ago for the first time because it was lockdown.
Literally. That's it. So again, I think over the lockdown period, I think I've met more people and made more meaningful relationships than you would ever get to do, because everyone was there ready to connect, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know, now everyone's back to the busy lives. It's harder, and you've got to maintain it. But I think from my point of view with my role, there was myself and then the two guys that I work alongside. So we've got Abby at Hotel Football and Steph at Stock Exchange.
Abby, I follow her. So that's and Stock Exchange is still part of the.
So it's still owned by Gary as well. So you've got the two hotels, obviously very different, but throughout lockdown, again, like you say, people were online, ready to connect. The three of us decided we weren't just going to sit back and just simmer into the background.
And let the pandemic affect you.
We were going to do things to try and keep the brand alive,
Yeah.
if you like. So we climbed Scarfell Pike
I saw
with
that.
clients. We
And
climbed Snowdon.
You did a tweet with you had Collins, didn't you? You did a picture. Yes.
We did. So we took Collins too. Did we take Collins to
Snowdonia.
Snowdon? We did take Collins to
and
Snowdon.
you tweeted it, and then you went viral. Gary retweeted it.
Yeah, so we did that, and we did take him to Scarfell as well, because when we did Scarfell, it was actually Stuart's birthday. So we had a birthday Colin at the
Yes,
top.
Big Stu.
So we did a birthday Colin at the top for Stuart. So we'd try to do things like that so that we could still be in people's minds but raise money for charity at the same time. So yeah, this is what it's all about.
And to end on a note, we're going to end in it. Friday is the big night.
Friday's a big
for
night.
me, you, and Izzy.
Yes.
I'm on table next to you.
Yes.
Table 3, table 4.
It's going to be great.
What have you planned the night ahead? What are you like? Are you nervous? Are you ready? Is this a celebration? Like you said, we're winners in our own right.
Do you know what? I think we need to enjoy it.
Yeah.
We need to enjoy it.
No one's had no fun in the last 2 years.
That's it. We need to enjoy it. I think the fact of being recognised out of hundreds of nominations to be shortlisted in the categories we have. You
True.
know,
Like Rising Star of the Year.
There you go.
And you've got the sales.
Yeah, sales and BDM of the year, and Izzy's
Recruiter.
talent and HR,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, Talent and HR Recruiter of the Year.
So I think for us to be shortlisted, and from the businesses that we're from as well, you know, the relationship we've got, I think we just need to enjoy it.
Just enjoy our nights and enjoy
That's it.
ourselves. But Jess Southworth, I'm not
See you
gonna
at the
lie.
bar.
Yes, it has been a pleasure. In the hot seat finally. And Carlos, how have you found it?
Very, very good.
Would you start your own podcast?
Maybe, maybe not.
Well, I think you should, you know.
You're very vague, aren't you?
Yes.
Would you lot of friends? Do you have a lot of friends? Obviously, you're popular.
Yes.
Do you have a friend that you come bring one of your friends one time and start your own podcast?
AJ's next.